Welcome back to our Krishna Katha channel. I hope you are all doing fine. So first I would like to thank to those who have watched our first video and subscribed to our channel, and I humbly requested to others to subscribe our channel, then we can serve together our Guru and Gauranga and the mission of Lord Chaitanya. And please do share our video and post your comment and like. Then in future we can serve Guru and Gauranga in better way. So today we'll start reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. In our channel we opened a new section under the title of Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, where we will post the videos, just the reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, and you will find the video under this section. So beginning of our reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, I would like to offer my obeisances to all the Vaishnavas and Guru and Gauranga. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhuvaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namayam Vishnupadaya Krishnapasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam. So why it is recommended by our previous Acharya to read Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and attentively? Because reading Srimad Bhagavatam will help us to attach to Lord Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna that Janma Kanma Chame Divam Evam Yovetti Tadvataha Takta Deham Punarjanma Naiti Mamiti Arjuna. That means that one who knows the transcendental activities and pastimes of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take birth again in this material world, but will attain my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna that those who are relishing my pastimes, my transcendental pastimes, and understand my activities will not take birth in this material world, and he will for sure go back to Krishna's eternal abode. So what is the way to relish his pastimes and his activities, to know his activities? The way is to read Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the importance of reading Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and attentively. And again, in Vedas, there are so many religious activities, about the performing of religious activities have been explained in Vedas. But performing all the religious activities, at the end, if one does not establish the attachment with Lord Krishna, then it's just a waste of time. For our human life, the main purpose of doing all the activities, religious activities, everything what we are doing, the main purpose of our human life is to get connected with Sri Krishna, to get attached with Sri Krishna. And reading Srimad Bhagavatam is the way. So this is the importance. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the commentary of Vedanta Sutra by the same author, Srila Vyasadeva, who is the incarnation of Lord Krishna. This Srimad Bhagavatam has 12 cantos and 18,000 verses. It begins with the definition of the absolute truth, the ultimate source, Parameshwara, Lord Krishna. And it then gradually develops into 9 cantos up to the higher state of God realization. But the purpose of reading Srimad Bhagavatam is not just only to know the origin of the ultimate source, but also to be aware of the lost connection, our lost connection with Lord Krishna, and to know the perfect duty of a human life. This Srimad Bhagavatam, to the 18,000 verses, it is describing the different conversation between self-realized kings, rishis, yogis, and also it also describes the different pastimes, pastimes of Lord Krishna and his activities of the devotees. So the conversations between the kings, sages, and the yogis is the subject of those conversations is to how to achieve the perfection in life. So let us hear some glories of Srimad Bhagavatam that are described by our previous Acharya. Because without knowing the glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam, one cannot understand the significance of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he glorified Srimad Bhagavatam by comparing this literature, the Srimad Bhagavatam, in 5 different ways: lamp, sun, Mohini Murti incarnation, and desert tree, and the tasty food. So let us go through all the comparisons that he has made with Srimad Bhagavatam. First one is the lamp, the torchlight. In Sanskrit it can be said as Adhatma Deepam. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Verse 3, it is described that as the lamp or torchlight removes the darkness of a room, Srimad Bhagavatam is the transcendental torchlight by which one can see perfectly the absolute truth through 3 aspects like Brahman, the effulgence of the God, Paramatma resides in every living entities, in the existence of every living entities, and finally to Bhagavan, Lord Krishna. So Srimad Bhagavatam acts as a lamp to remove all the darknesses of ignorance from our heart. Second one is the sun. Purana Arko. Purana means the transcendental literature, and Arko means as brilliant as sun. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Verse 43, it says that Bhagavat Purana, which is as brilliant as the sun, has arisen after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode. Persons who have lost their vision due to the ignorance of darkness, it is called Andhena Tamasha Brita, which is described in Ishopanishad verse 3. Andhena means ignorance and Tamasha Brita means darkness. So who have lost their vision due to the darkness of ignorance in this age of Kali shall get light from Srimad Bhagavatam. So we can also include another example from Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Lord Chaitanya was describing as Krishna Surya Somo Maya hoy andhokar, Jaha Krishna taha nai Mayar adhikar. Means Krishna Surya Somo, Krishna is as brilliant as the sun. Maya hoy andhokar, the illusion, this material world, the illusion, Maya is the darkness. Jaha Krishna, where Krishna resides, taha nai Mayar adhikar, the illusion is not allowed to stay there. So when we accept Krishna, our life will get the light, and that's why Maya cannot enter to our human life, in our heart. So those who are taking shelter of Krishna will be protected from the clutches of Maya. In the same way, we can say that Srimad Bhagavatam acts as a shield to protect oneself from those who is continuously trying to deviate us from God. And the third example he gave as Mohini Murti. In Mohini Murti incarnation, Lord Sri Krishna was distributing the nectar to the demigods while he was baffling the Asuras by her charms. Mohini Murti is the incarnation of Lord Vishnu in a form of beautiful woman. So she was baffling the Asuras by his sweet charm while she was distributing the nectar to the demigods. So we can take the lesson from this pastime that one who approaches to Srimad Bhagavatam, wants to hear Srimad Bhagavatam sincerely, those person will get the reciprocation from God and will get the real meaning. While in other case, the persons who are approaching to Srimad Bhagavatam and is not sincere to read the Srimad Bhagavatam, is not attentive to read Srimad Bhagavatam, those person will be baffling from the teaching of Srimad Bhagavatam and giving out by deviant meanings. So those person will not the real benefit by reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. And the fourth and fifth, the Srimad Bhagavatam he is comparing with the dessert tea and tasty food. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that Vedescha sarvair ahameva vedda Vedanta krida vedavid evacha aham in chapter 15 verse 15. That means that by all the Vedas he is the only to be known, and he is the compiler and knower of the Veda. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Verse 3, Srimad Bhagavatam is the mature fruit of desert tree of the Vedic literature. Nigama kalpatarar galitam phalam. So all the Vedic literature is compared to as a desert tree, and Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of that desert tree. That means the Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedas. Akhila Shruti Saram. Akhila means all. Shruti means Veda. Saram means cream. So Srimad Bhagavatam, so if you churn all the Vedic literature, the cream will come out, right? And Srimad Bhagavatam is the cream of all Vedic literature. Now let us know the benefits of Srimad Bhagavatam. So in Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1, Chapter 2, verse 18, from this verse, Nashta prayashu abhadreshu nittam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati ruttama sloke bhaktir bhavati nashtaki. Here in this verse, two benefits are hidden. What are the two benefits? The first benefit is Nashta prayashu abhadreshu nittam bhagavata sevaya. If you read Srimad Bhagavatam attentively and regularly, all the troublesome of your heart will be removed. So it is also confirmed by Lord Chaitanya in his Sikshashtakam, Cheta Darpana Marjanam. So by regularly chanting the holy name of Lord, the darts that is accumulated for long time and on the mirror of our heart, Cheta Darpana, the mirror of our heart, the dust will be removed by regular and attentive chanting of Lord Krishna. And another benefit of reading Srimad Bhagavatam is that Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. The loving service to the Supreme Lord will be established by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So not only the loving service to the Lord will be achieved, In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Verse 2, it is said that those who heard Srimad Bhagavatam attentively and submissively, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. So, we can capture Sri Krishna to our heart by regularly and attentively reading Srimad Bhagavatam. The third benefit is that it is also described in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 10, Verse 49 and 50, that Srimad Bhagavatam is beneficial for both materialistic people and transcendentalist people. How? For the materialistic people? Because in this material world, they are so much engaged in sense gratification. So for those people who are situated in the physical level, they need to come out from the ignorance. What is the ignorance? Because they are claiming everything of their own. This is the ignorance. So they need to come out from those ignorance, from that ignorance. And to come out from those ignorance, they need to know the Ishavasya principle that is explained in Ishopanishad. What is the Ishavasya principle? Ishavasya principle is that everything here is owned and controlled by the Lord. So the materially situated people, those are situated in the physical level, they need to understand this Ishavasya principle. And by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, they will get to know that everything is owned by Lord, not by them. And the fourth benefit is that if we read Srimad Bhagavatam in a scientific way, that means we need to read the Srimad Bhagavatam as a scientific presentation. If we read Srimad Bhagavatam in a scientific way, one can be elevated to the transcendental level, freeing from this illusion. What is that scientific way? Suppose in a scientific study, what the people are doing? People are doing first observation and then make hypothesis, and they are doing the experiment to clarify their hypothesis, and after experimentation they will get the result. After getting the result, they will give the conclusion, and from that conclusion they will, whether they will reject the hypothesis or they establish the hypothesis. So this is the steps in the scientific study. Srimad Bhagavatam is also has to be read in a scientific way, because it is the science of God, the science of Krishna. So what is the scientific way for reading Srimad Bhagavatam? One should read the Srimad Bhagavatam canto by canto, from one canto to second, third, not by leaping from one canto to fifth canto, from fifth canto to 10th canto. This is not the way to read the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is recommended by the Acharyas, our previous Acharyas, to read the Srimad Bhagavatam in a scientific way, canto by canto. So there is another thing we can say, that why we should read Srimad Bhagavatam canto by canto, because reading of Srimad Bhagavatam is same as the worshipping of Lord Krishna, because Srimad Bhagavatam is the Grantha avatar of Lord Krishna, and it is, as I have told before, that the son of Srimad Bhagavatam has arisen after the departure of Lord Krishna. And Sanatana Goswami also said that in his Sri Krishna Leela Stava, that after disappearance, Lord Krishna returned in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam to shed light to the misdirected civilization in Kali Yuga. In Padma Purana, it is described that the 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam represents the limbs of Lord Sri Krishna's transcendental body. So how it is that? First canto and second canto represents Lord Krishna's lotus feet, 2 lotus feet. Third canto, fourth canto as his 2 thighs. Fifth canto as his navel. Sixth canto as his chest. Seventh and eighth canto his 2 arms. Ninth canto as his throat. 10th canto, his beautiful lotus face. 11th canto, his forehead. 12th canto as his head. So if we worship by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, if we worship Srimad Bhagavatam by regular reading, we are worshipping the transcendental body of Sri Krishna. And also Srila Prabhupada says that by regular hearing and reading Srimad Bhagavatam, one will make their life happy and their spiritual life will be more and more perfect. So that is the purpose of our endeavor here, to read Srimad Bhagavatam together through this channel. We pray to Lord Krishna to give us the knowledge that we can study his pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam, and we can relish his pastime in a nicer way, in a proper way, and we can understand and make our life successful to surrender the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. So I request all of you to stay tuned with us with this channel, and let us read Srimad Bhagavatam together and make our life successful. Thank you.